Guys, okay, we're going to do a quick review of ordering real numbers. I'm going to show you how to use Desmos to do this. Okay, there are two different Desmos calculators. The first is the traditional. It is green. Unfortunately, that is not what we want. We are going to use the blue Desmos test mode. So make sure when you download this that you get this one. This is the one that we are going to use. This is also the one that you're going to use on all of your exams. You will not be allowed to use this green Desmos on any exams that you take. Okay, so let's take a look. Ordering real numbers. So first of all, what's a real number? Well, we know real numbers are all of our integers, rational numbers, including irrational numbers. Okay, so we have a list of numbers here. The first thing you're going to want to do is change these from whatever format they are, like these three, and I want them to be in decimal format like you see with these three. So I'm going to switch them around and make them in decimal format. First of all, I know this is pi, and I know the abbreviated form of pi is 3.14. Okay? The square root of 25, I know the square root of 25 is what two numbers multiplied by itself is going to give me 25. Well, I know 5 times 5 is 25. So that means the square root of 25 is 5. Then 5 1/4, I can easily just do that division. And I know 4 goes into 5 once, gives me 4. Subtract that out and I get 1. And I know if I make it into a fraction, it's 1/4. Which is the same as saying 1.25, okay? So if I were then to take those and put them back underneath, so everything is in decimal format, it would look like this, okay? Now, if I am just using a traditional number line like this below, then I can do that very simply, and I can just start plotting points, which is what we're going to do, okay? So the first thing I'm going to plot is this first one, which is negative 3.6. Well, negative 3 is going to be way over here, but I know the 0.6, think about it like money, so it'll be $3.60, but it's negative. So that means $3.60 is going to be closer to the 4, so somewhere right around here. And I'm going to put negative 3.6. Okay, the next one is pi, which again, I know the abbreviated form is 3.14. Well, again, if I think money, $3.14, this is positive. So it's going to be somewhere right in here. Okay, now you'll notice when I do this one, I'm not going to put 3.14, excuse me, I'm going to put pi. And the reason you do that is because every time you see an answer choice on an exam, it is always going to default back to the original way the number is written, not the decimal format. Okay, so we're going to do decimal format because it makes it so much easier to plot, but when it comes to actually an exam, anytime you see it, you will always revert back to the original. Okay, so let's do the next one. Next one is 4.2. Again, $4.20. It'll be over $4, and it'll be somewhere, right around in here. And again, I'm going to put the 4.2. Okay, next one, square root of 25, we said was 5. So again, 5 would be $5. It is going to go right on the 5. And again, I'm going to put square root of 25, just like we discussed. Next one, 1.25. Again, $1.25. I know the $1.25 is going to go right over here by the dollar. And again, I'm going to put the 5 over 4 so I remember it. Last one is 0.3, and this line over the top here means it repeats. Okay, the repeating decimal just means it's 0.333333333, so 33 cents and change. So I know 33 cents is closer to the 0 than it is the 1. And again, I'm going to put 0.3 repeating. So now if it asked me what is the largest number, what is the smallest number, I can look and I can say the bigger the number is going to be down here on the end, which would be the square root of 25. That's the largest. And then the smallest number would be down here at the bottom, which is the negative 3.6. The biggest thing to remember is some of the verbiage, the biggest, smallest. You will also see greatest and least. And we need to make sure that when we're doing these that we know what order those belong in. So greatest is always the biggest, smallest or least is always the smallest. Okay, let's take, and we're going to put these same exact problems into Desmos. So to put this in the calculator, there is a trick to do this that makes it super easy to visualize. If you plot each one of your points as though it is a point on a graph, you will see that we'll actually put a decimal place for you. I always start with 0 and then comma. And the first number I had, if you remember, was negative 3.6. And then I'm going to hit enter. And look, right here, it immediately plotted a point down here at the bottom. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing, next number. Again, parenthesis 0, comma, and then pi was the next number. And see, it shows up now blue. And if you look at the left, the negative 3.6 dot is red and the pi dot is blue. So the dots on the right hand side on my graph will correlate exactly to what the numbers are on the left. Okay, I'm going to keep going 0 and then 4.2. And as I go and do this, you will see these numbers begin to appear and the dots begin to appear on the right hand side. Okay, the next one, 0 and 5/4, and then 0.3. Whoops, I got that outside the thing. 0, comma, 0.33333. And I'm just going to stop there. Okay, now one thing that I want you to see is I now have 2 red labels. I don't want 2 numbers being the same because I want to be able to see them so they're different. So to fix that, I'm going to push and hold the color button and you'll see how they change. Well, I only have 5 options in here. So this time I'm going to change the way the dot is on the sheet. Okay, or not on the sheet, but on the graph. Okay, so I'm going to change it to an X. I'm going to change it back. And if you look at the graph, you can see it changes from a dot to an X. That way I can see the difference. Okay, so I'm going to stop. Now, one of the great things about doing it on Desmos this way, if you do the 0 first when you're plotting the points, is your highest, largest, greatest number is always going to be up here on top, which is 5. The smallest, the least number, is always going to be at the very bottom. Again, I can kind of zoom in and see this a little bit better, and I can tell what is what. If I want to get more information on this dot other than the color, because the color will coordinate exactly to the left side, so I know what the original number is. But if I push and kind of tap on the point itself, it will tell me what the value is of that point. Sometimes this will actually, not sometimes, excuse me, this will help me because that's how I put it in. So for example, pi shows up as pi. Now, if you notice, however, the 5/4 changed to the decimal format of 1.25. Be very, very careful that you pay attention to the fact that that 1.25 is actually the 5/4 because it will revert most times back over to the decimal format. It did the same thing with the square root of 25. It changed it to 5. And again, if I don't want to look at these, I can just click the dot and the label goes away. All right, I hope this makes a lot of sense. We will be doing quite a bit of practicing on that in class. Have a wonderful day.